Believing in Yourself, December 12, 2021. There's a lot of motivational quotes, messages, and stories that all portray the ever-young idea of believing in yourself. Ever since the hell of the world wars had wrapped up in history, it seems that all that is ever left for people is hope. As hope is deeply rooted in having to experience both being damned and being in serenity. Hope is all we had for each other as the world slowly reveals the bleak future ahead with increasing speed. We never know what's coming, we just hope for the best. And as hope became the main word for wishing for a good future, a hopefully promising one, it entailed a responsibility that we all socially, and frankly unconsciously, maintain, believing in ourselves. It has been known that believing in oneself can create wonders for certain people. It can move mountains, as they say, create new possibilities, and empower one's own self like continuously living in such a cruel world and surviving isn't a privilege yet. And it does take the form of different ideal personal values. Persistence, as how J.K. Rowling fought to tell the stories of Harry Potter, a craving for innovation and change as to how Thomas Edison perfected the light bulb, or courage as to how heroes, both in real life and in mainstream fictional media, have shown to earn their honor. It's belief, and it's one of the most powerful capabilities we have as humans. In fact, it might even be the only thing that makes humans the superior animals in this world. Our ability to believe, most especially in ourselves, is a form of a higher level of thinking that truly is the root cause of any movement of our evolution. But there are a lot of problems in giving someone the advice to believe in themselves. What does it mean anyway? How do you actually believe? If you know how to believe, how do you apply it to yourself? Most importantly, how do you make it work? See, we have to understand that in order for us to believe, we need to have a sense that there is proof or evidence. We believe that our parents love us, that is belief, because they buy us food to eat, that is evidence, so we won't get hungry, again, supporting evidence. We believe that our teacher knows the subject, that's belief, because she can teach it very well, that is evidence. We believe that we can use a pencil, that is belief, because we can write. That is evidence. And it goes with just about anything we think is true in reality. We believe that we are living, belief, because we're actually here breathing, evidence. That is a very simple idea about belief, and it is universally true in many aspects of internal to external thinking. That is our judgments. Belief, however, is different from faith. Belief is trust in evidence about something. Faith, on the other hand, is trust directly about that something. That's basically how religion works. We don't have sensory proof that there is God, but we believe in God. We believe that God exists because we trust in Him, and therefore everything that happens to us is presumably because of God's working. Faith is us trusting in God. Belief is us trusting in the evidence of our faith. That's why we believe in God. But enough about God, and let's try to focus on ourselves, like how true of a selfish being we are. Believing in oneself needs evidence. I can say I'm a writer. Belief, because I freaking wrote this article. Evidence. One can say they're athletic. Belief, because they play sports and go to the gym 5 times a week. Evidence. One can say they're happy. Belief, because they're laughing their ass out to the point that they're already pissing their pants. Evidence. Similarly, this works in the negative spectrum as well. One can say they're miserable. Belief, because they have no friends. Evidence. One can say that he's hungry. Belief, because he can literally feel his stomach aching. Evidence. One can say they will go to hell. Belief, because they've done terrible things lately. Evidence. Understanding that belief needs evidence is key in order for us to believe in ourselves. Now, in this context of believing in ourselves, there can be 2 types of evidence that we can count on. Past evidence and external evidence. Past evidence is stuff we've already done in the past. You can tell that you can pass this test because you've already taken like hundreds of tests before. You can tell that you won't tumble down from cycling because you've been cycling since you were 5. You can tell that you can do this because you know you've proven your skills, abilities, and intellect before. Past evidence is stuff we hold on to make us believe in ourselves in the present moment. And we can use this idea to, believe in ourselves. In order for me to believe I'm a writer, I would need to have written something first, evidence. Therefore, if I want to be a writer, I should write something. Of course, doing it once isn't really a piece of strong evidence for me to hold on to. That's why I need to do it multiple times. Time is an ally for constructing a belief in oneself, as it reinforces the idea that duration is directly proportional to our experience. The more we've been doing something, the more we're experienced and knowledgeable about it. These writing outputs are pieces of evidence that compound over time to construct and strengthen our belief in ourselves. Thus, think of past evidence like compounding interests. That's why if I want to believe I'm a writer, I need to first write something, and second, continue to write until I believe that I'm a writer. I know that's true because that's what I've done and still continuously do. Past evidence seems a useful tool to take out from the toolbox. However, past evidence is problematic in the sense that, it's already in the past. Holding on to the past can be beneficial for using it as proof, but staying in the past is A, dangerous because the present isn't always the same as the past, and B, you tend to be lazy to grow because you've already grown too much confidence. Past evidence is good and all, but what if it doesn't work out? We've said before that if we want to be a writer, we would have a need to have written something. But what if we don't believe in ourselves enough to even start writing anything? That may sound ridiculous, but it happens very often within ourselves. Some of us want to be a gamer, and they know they would need to have played games before. But they really aren't that confident to start playing a game, so they don't become a gamer. Some of us want to believe they're a great cook, and they know they would need to have cooked something or prepared a dish before. However, they don't believe in themselves enough to even start cooking, so they don't get better at it. It's just a downward spiral at this point. First, we want to believe that we are something. Second, we know we need to have evidence to support it. Third, we realize we don't have enough past evidence. Fourth, we begin to lose interest in even starting to believe. Lastly, nothing happens. The thing with believing in yourself is that you, at some point, would need someone to believe in you first, because that person is evidence that yourself is worthy of you believing in. Another person, maybe parents, sibling, relative, friend, boss, co-worker, partner, or even a stranger, can all be these people whom we can consider the external evidence. And this is very powerful because it sends the message that this person believes in you, so why shouldn't you? This is one of the profound realizations I've had in the past couple of months. This has changed my perspective because I always advocated before that if you can't believe in yourself, why would you expect others to believe in you? I thought that belief in oneself can only stem from the inside. I guess plants don't only get energy from their roots, but instead from outside as well, from the sun. Similarly, we don't always get our motivation to believe from ourselves, but from other people. When you don't have something to believe in yourself, you just can't. The people who support you, encourage you, show enthusiasm in your work, talents, and other stuff, people who truly, and I mean truly and genuinely, not the sarcastic fake believing, believe in you, that is when we achieve greater heights. That is when there is proof to encourage and motivate our beliefs. That is when we believe in ourselves. Believing needs evidence. Sometimes we can produce the evidence themselves. That's why other people can be our evidence. One important distinction to note about past and external evidence is that their natures are entirely different. Past evidence is hugely practical, in the sense that it can be done, that it is done, and it can be created. External evidence, however, is hugely encouraging evidence, not more so a practical one. You cannot control external evidence, but it is still a powerful one. You can control past evidence, but it takes discipline to either control your emotions while gaining belief from the past or have the diligence to create past evidence. Either way, both are useful in establishing belief in oneself. As cheesy as it is, believing in yourself can truly work wonders. A person who lives their life not believing in something, even in themselves, is like a blind horse looking for food, like the earth orbiting no sun, like a soul who has no purpose. Belief in oneself is the root of hope, and hope is the cause of our evolutionary movement, the negentropy of life. That's why it is important, if not essential to our survival. Of course, no belief doesn't mean an ultimate ceasing of existence, but it does make existence much more meaningful. But again, that's me, and please feel free to disagree. Hey guys, if you like listening to this article, you can check out more articles like this one on my website. Just click the link in the description box below. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.